why rural development is required for civil services aspirants. Why? Mainly because, see, you have to read this, not write it. This is like, it should be kept in your, memory. Primarily, 68.84% of the population are rural, means that 833 million of 1 point, this again is your 2011 census. Okay, 1.21 billion. Okay, so now of this 833 million are village people. Okay, so now when you are posted as an IAS officer or when you are posted as a KS officer, Assistant Commissioner Revenue, no, you will be handling with core of the society only, that is villages only in the beginning. Okay, so straight away, sometimes you might get your home cadres, okay, sometimes you may not. So when you don't get them, you have to serve in the village level environment only. So what do you become there? You become a intermediary person between people and the government. Especially when you are like into administrative services, no, you become the people's interface or government's interface largely, right or not? So you are going to hear all those complaints from the people. I didn't get my pension. Okay, rather than going to pension office, if like 10 people together, they have an issue, no, they'll come to you. If the bank officers or pension officers are not treating them well, they'll come to you. What have you got to do with the pension? Pension office is the one that has to be dealing with all this, right? So you still have to handle it. If it's a scam, if it's a ghost beneficiary issue, then it might turn into a very big scam later, right? So you have to be cautious. Every man's complaint or every man's need is a opportunity or a threat to you. Either ways, it's upon you to decide whether it should turn out to an opportunity or a threat. Okay, so it can be an opportunity if you are open-minded to take the issue up and see if you can do something about it. It will be a threat if you just ignore away all the loopholes in the happenings around you. Understood? Yes. So the better it is always to go for opportunities, because you are dealing with people, common people. The purpose of you to come here is to serve people. Therefore, you take the opportunity way is always better, right? So you will address the regional imbalance. Whatever you see in urban areas, if they are not available in rural area, you should be the bridge to provide that. You're not going to be the lineman and provide electricity to any house. You're just going to pass on the benefits that are government designing to pass it on to the common people. Understood? Right. So Ujjwala Yojana, if people will have to get LPG connection, you have to tell them that, you can take an LPG connection rather than using this or say firewood based stoves. Understood? Yes. So that is you avoiding or addressing the regional imbalance. Okay. So now you come up with a recreational sports club. Okay. Now there is a huge well, like, in the near vicinity, where all the children go for swimming there as a recreational activity. And that well is, known to be having poisonous snakes. Right? So children do not have any of the recreational activities, so they take to swimming there. Now, if you have, sufficient funds, or if you are in a position to make a change, then definitely you can come up with a sports club with your official powers. Right? So that is what it means by addressing regional imbalance. So here we have a hell lot of recreational activities, right? But there, no opportunities, right? So education, better education, technology induced education, again a very important thing, smart classrooms, possible, provided you are up for it. So you will be addressing the regional imbalance. You will try to pass on all the benefits that you have got. Okay, being as an urban citizen, you will do that. Otherwise, if you are a rural citizen, no, it's all the more important that, whatever you didn't get should be given to citizens another. Right or not? You would have had hindrances, right? If you're a rural aspirant, you would have had so many hindrances, like you would have taken to coaching to a urban town, or you would have taken to materials to, like, big cities. Like a lot of problems you would have faced. Even to write exams, you would have come to far off cities or towns, right? So that is a hindrance which urban people are not facing. You will have to reduce that regional imbalance. You should make everything available. Like, Gandhiji's approach of rural development is still popular is because of that. He said that every village should become like, self-sustaining village, self-sufficient village. That means like, every village is capable of providing whatever it wants for itself, right? But now what we have made villages to become the, burdens on urban areas. Because it's feeding, and then, the feeding is still not sufficient. It's becoming like that. But what is being fed, how it is being fed is not taken care of. Understood? Yes. Then education. You will have to participate in these activities largely. Okay, so you will involve in a lot of surveys, survey reports, signing authorities you will be. Okay, so you should make sure that, you take due care in passing on the right schemes. Okay, it's really important, especially if you go to the policy levels, no? You should be very cautious about what are the changes. Now, we got this national education policy. Do you think all the political parties involved brought in this national education policy? All the brains behind it are like people like you who cleared the exams and gone there, bureaucracy, right or not? So it's important. You will change the educational setup, better infrastructure, better gender equality, cultural heritage. What is this cultural heritage? You have schemes like Amrit, Hriday, and like, a lot of schemes. Okay, so now if you want to bring in changes, definitely you will put it to Archaeological Survey of India, Monument of National Importance under ASI, or Monument of State Importance. Okay, so all those can be done by you if you feel that any temple or any cultural heritage is in a dilapidated condition. Okay, you have powers for it, right? And then finally, if you can help the population of that particular village to have better employment opportunities, that is going to contribute to national income. Understood? Yes. So do you see the powers that you're going to have in your hand? See, now we also know that, like, you're a small cog in the wheel. Okay, you're not going to be like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do 100% education in this village. No, that's not a practical thing. But if you can bring in shift in like, some 10% of the lives of the district that you're posted to, that's a huge achievement in your life. Understood? Yes. So now for a civil service aspirant, rural development is important for these reasons, because you know why these are important for rural development, right or not? For a country like India to develop, rural development is important. And for rural development to happen, people like you are needed here. Understood? Yes. So this is why we need civil service aspirants to engage in the society. Understood? For rural development.